let me take you all back to your school or college days. Tell me if there was a course or a subject that you feared the most. No matter how hard you tried, the one you just couldn't connect with. Now just imagine if that very particular course or subject becomes your best friend, the one that you look forward to the most. That's what happened with some of my friends while I was doing my MBA, right? A lot of them who would have never cared about a course or a subject such as operation suddenly loved it. Whereas naturally exciting subjects such as marketing and branding lost their appeal. Why? It was not about the subject, it was not about the course, but it was about the way the information was delivered, the way it was taught. The observation was a game changer for me. The style of delivery of knowledge had the power to either ignite passion or dismiss curiosity. And I know this firsthand because I have always struggled in a traditional classroom. Focusing even for an hour during a lecture was a very daunting job for me, right? Until I met another professor who completely flipped the script for me. I could sit in a 4-hour lecture straight, completely captivated. That left me asking with a question saying that what makes learning come alive? You see, the traditional methods of teaching such as lectures only caters to a very small portion of the population. According to the learning pyramid, traditional methods of teaching such as lectures only have a retention rate of 5%. A 2015 Microsoft study revealed that average human attention span is 8 seconds, shorter than that of a goldfish, which is 9 seconds. And that's the reality we live in today. So the question is not about what do I teach. The reality is how do I keep my students, or how do I keep my audiences in general engaged? After my MBA, I had the opportunity to become an instructor myself. I teach digital marketing, and I took that role, and I promised myself that I will make my classes so engaging just to ensure that there would be no one like me who would struggle to focus in class or fall asleep during the class. So this mission required to break, the one-size-fit-all teaching model. According to me, teaching is an evolution. It changes according to the subject matter, but it should also change according to the audiences or the students sitting in front of you. For me, 5 principles, or you can say 5 pillars work, taken from researches and personal experiences as well. And I'm going to take you through these 5 pillars, which I call 5 pillars of effective teaching and engagement. So first is understanding the 3 learning styles. Humans primarily learn in 3 different styles. There are auditory learners, visual learners, and kinesthetic learners. Auditory learners learn best through listening, lectures, discussions. Visual learners learn best through seeing videos, graphics, complex charts. And kinesthetic learners learns best through doing, hands-on applications, simulations. So each session should be a mix of not just lectures or discussions, but also videos, also simulations, and also hands-on applications. Second pillar is explain the why. You see, context is everything. When you explain why we are learning, what we are learning, it has an effect on the brain. According to the self-determination theory, which is a macro theory on personality and human motivation, it clearly states if there is a clear rationale on why we are learning something, it increases intrinsic motivation as well as learning outcome. In courses such as search engine, I often start with a discussion saying that, why do we even need to learn this? Do we even need to learn this in the first place, right? So giving context and explaining why we are learning, what we are learning. Third, teach through storytelling. So stories captivates us. According to neuroscience, when we hear a compelling story, especially with the emotional or a suspense angle, the brain releases dopamine, which aids in memory retention and focus. In my complex courses such as analytics, I take the help of films and documentaries such as The Great Hack and Moneyball, and all of a sudden, non-analytical students are interested in analytics. It just comes from these stories and these cases. Fourth is active learning methods. So go beyond case studies and discussions. Whenever I'm teaching a complex course or a complex concept in particular, I often ask my students to get up and explain it back to the class. I do this multiple times. There are 2 reasons for it. Firstly, according to the learning pyramid, Teaching others, which you can see at the most bottom, that is the highest form of learning. It aids up to 90% retention of the course concepts or concepts in general. Secondly, I revisit this question again and again. Why? Because according to neuroscience, a brain retains more information when revisited again and again. It is also called the spacing effect. And finally, create curiosity. Creating curiosity about a subject or a course which a student or an audience has no idea about, plus is not interested in, that's the real job of an educator. Curiosity is the gateway of learning. For me, how I get my audiences engaged and how I ignite curiosity is by deep diving into pop culture and current news and analogies. Discussing very simple concepts such as, why did this particular song went viral? Why did that happen? Not just superficial level, right? Why, and then why of why, and then why of why of why, right? Why did a particular campaign did not work for a certain company, right? Why did current news is making so much traffic and so much headlines everywhere? So you deep dive into the pop culture, which today's generations are very well aware about, and they are all of a sudden curious in course concepts, in subjects which they were never curious about. So these are 5 pillars, which I say, of effective teaching and engagement: understanding the 3 learning styles, explaining the why, storytelling, active learning methods, and creating curiosity. But now let's look forward. We are in a generation now where we will be teaching, and our audiences are Generation Alpha and Generation Beta, right? Gen Zs are also now maturing. Teaching them will be a completely different job, right? They will learn and consume information in ways millennials do not consume, Gen Zs do not consume. So we have to look forward. There are 2 macro trends when I talk about education looking forward. One of them is virtual reality and artificial intelligence, right? We are living in an era where we can teach history by taking our students virtually through ancient Rome or ancient Greece. And second mega trend is micro-learning. Micro-learning basically means breaking down information into small chunks of digestible nuggets, which we can see across the social landscapes. There are all kinds of influencers coming from all kinds of categories: education, legal, accounting, and they are creating very valuable educational content on social, but that too in a very, very short period of duration. So we have to adapt to that as well. If there is one takeaway we take from this talk today, from my talk today, for the educators, it would be education is not just delivering knowledge. It's about creating curiosity, and it's about fostering engagement. It is about changing our teaching methods, not only according to the course concepts or the subject matter, but also according to the audiences sitting in front of you. So the takeaway for educators should be, it is about sparking curiosity plus fostering engagement. And if there should be one takeaway for all the learners and everyone in general, it should be that no matter where you're spending your time on, it can be an online course, it can be a traditional classroom, it can be an event, it can be a trip, right? Take the time and ask, what did I learn from this experience? You see, no matter how small or big the experience is, it comes with valuable insights. It might come with 1 key takeaway, it might come with 10 key takeaways. Just take the time and create a key takeaway log for yourself. So it's up to us to capture them and grow. So always after any experience, ask yourself, what did I learn? And write it down, document it, and create a key takeaway log. Again, teaching is an evolution. It's not a template. It should evolve not only according to the subject matter, but also according to the people, students, audiences sitting in front of you. Thank you.